She cheated, I left, but she won't leave me alone. Pretty much what the title says, but obviously I should provide background to the situation. Okay. I've been with my ex-girlfriend, Vanessa, for the past 5 years. We met at a convention for one of our hobbies, started just talking about the hobby itself, with no other goal in mind. We started dating when she confessed that she liked me as more than a friend, and it was mutual. I just kept quiet because I didn't really want to ruin the friendship and I wasn't really expecting her to be interested in me. Dated for about 2 years steadily before we moved in together. Our families meshed well together, our friends mingled and we all became one big mixed social circle. That was a surprise because we both come from very different financial backgrounds, me being raised in poor middle class kind of finances, Vanessa and her friends and family being really, really rich. Everything was great for the past 3 years, except when she cheated. Vanessa cheated on me with some random guy, I don't even honestly know why nor do I really care to find out. I found out a month ago because I took her phone to call up a friend since mine was inoperable at the time. First thing I saw when I unlocked her phone was a message popping up about how some guy loved that ass bouncing on him the day before. I'll spare you the emotional turmoil I briefly went through. And I'll admit I just put the phone down, told her I was leaving without telling why, and I could see she was confused about me just going out like that. I just didn't want to do something I'd regret, because I did have anger issues in the past, but have mostly worked past those. She probably found out I saw that message, but since my phone was still in the apartment, there was no one way to get in touch with me. I literally just walked around the city for hours until I was so tired that I felt like falling asleep on my feet. Went over to a friend's place, stayed with them over the night and the day after I got over to our apartment and talked it out with Vanessa. I told her I wasn't going to be in a relationship with a cheater and that was that. I didn't ask for details, how it happened, who exactly the other guy was, I just wanted to go away from it all. She wasn't looking to oblige me, crying hysterically, blaming herself, hitting herself in the head because she was, and I quote, a stupid cheating CNT, begging me not to go, that she would do anything to try and fix this. The whole thing just made me even more uncomfortable to be around her, and there was a scene in front of our apartment when our neighbors came out to see what the noise was about. I did manage to get away, but it was unnecessarily complicated with drama. She made her choice to duck someone else, I made mine to break up because I don't want to be with a cheater. I managed to take away most of my things from the apartment when she wasn't there and hoped that would be that. But if it was, I wouldn't be here now. I mentioned before Vanessa and her family are rich. She's now using her, and I presume her family's, money and not giving me a single day of some kind of reminder of her. Either I'm getting gifts sent my way at my workplace or I'm getting letters in the mail and packages. Or she just hangs out with one friend of hers somewhere where she knows I am. I have no idea how she knows, and this is making me feel paranoid because I keep thinking she might have someone following me trying to get me to talk with her. I have tried talking with local police on the matter, but have been told in not so many words that her family would make sure nothing would be done about it. Props to the cop for being honest about it, but they could do their job instead. I want to heal. I want to move on. But she's not letting me, and I don't have enough money to just move away somewhere else. She's already blocked or ignored on every possible media I have, but strangely enough she's not trying to get to me through them anyway. Friends on the other hand are. Every friend she's got, and she has plenty, has asked me to just meet up with her, hear her out or something else like that. But I'm so tired of that. I'm tired of this kind of acid. I just want it over with. I don't want to hear her speak. I don't want to see her. It won't do me any good. So please, can anyone here help me? How do I move on from someone who won't let me and who has absolutely both the time and money to keep doing it indefinitely? Do I give her that one meeting she wants from me? Would that even help? I'm not from USA or some other first world country, so I pretty much have no legal recourse. Do you live in a first world country? No. In the meantime, I suggest that you make it very clear to each one of her friends who contact you, that she is stalking you and using her family's power to make your life hell, that it's not the context of loving GF showing repentance, but one of persecution that is making you feel unsafe and powerless. They know about what she's doing. but from what I understand they think what she's doing is for the best, both myself and us as a couple, which doesn't make sense because we're not a couple anymore. Update. There were tons of advice in the thread and a lot of support for the Essity situation I was in, and I want to thank you all for trying your best to help me. In the end, I set up a meeting with my ex's mother, whom I'd mentioned in one of my posts when I was replying to people about this whole thing. It was roughly a week after I'd made my previous post. She knew why we were broken up, and completely backed up my decision to break up with her daughter, seeing how much it hurt me. It meant a lot to me, and I guess I never really appreciated her mom being so friendly with me while we were together. I explained to her what had been going on since the breakup. She only knew that the ex was trying to get back together with me, but she didn't know about her showing up at any place I went out, her friends badgering M, or the letters and gifts being sent my way constantly. I came close to tearing up because of how much support she showed me at the time. At one point she even hugged me and kissed the top of my kid like I was a little kid again. I felt both embarrassed and grateful. I just wanted space and time to heal from this asset, and I think she understood as much. All in all, after we got that out in the open, she promised me she would get her daughter back into line, to leave me alone and stop harassing me. We talked a bit some more after that, but went our own ways soon after. The ex's harassment continued for a day or two and then it completely stopped. No messages, no calls, no sudden appearances where I was hanging out or anything. 3 weeks out and nothing from her so far. It's been bliss. It's like this huge weight just rolled straight off me. It's easier to breathe and I'm not even looking at the door of someplace I'm hanging out at to see if it's the ex or one of her friends. I didn't even notice that myself. My friends were the ones who brought it up to me. So yeah, this is 1,000 times better than what it was like before. I did talk with my ex's mom one more time over the phone and I thanked her for whatever she did with her daughter, and she was saying it was the least she could do. Near the end of the conversation, she said it would probably be for the best if we didn't speak anymore. It would let me fully move on from this, but that she was sorry it had come to this and that her and her husband wouldn't see me coming over for Christmas. We said our goodbyes and that was that. So that's it, the harassment stopped. I'm feeling great and life's really looking better nowadays. One more time, thank you all guys and gals for trying to help me out from the S-it pile I found myself in. Story 2. Wife sacrifices marriage for something I offered to give her. So not really sure how to start this. Not the most intelligent, nor smartest guy in world. Guess I'll just start talking. Me 32 meters and my 26F wife have been together for almost 5 years. Married for 2. We have a 2-year-old son and I have a 10-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. Starting April of 21 my wife has met a new friend at work. F and normal friend things start. Normal things at first. Texting. Tagging each other on different social apps. Normal things. F is also in a relationship with a man, not sure if they're married. This is useful later. Starting in June I started noticing things. Wife would stay up late at night, all night sometimes messaging F. Wife spending lots of time with her. Her coming to my house. Wife going to their house. Again nothing serious, figured it's just friend things. One night I noticed something odd. Wife and I are in bed, I'm asleep. I wake up and she hurry and hides her phone. I don't think anything of it. I come back to bed and kinda snore while I'm awake and she pulls up her phone and looks to delete some messages. I'm half asleep and don't pay any mind to it at that moment. During this time we start getting into fights more often. She's starting to go to F house more often and they're starting to go places more often. It starts coming to a head around June 23rd. We get into a huge fight and it ends with the wife punching a hole in the wall and leaving to her F house. That night after more arguing in texts I end up telling her I want a divorce and we can no longer have a safe and stable relationship for our child. We later figure this out. June 29th it blows up big time. I'm at work and receive a message from my wife. Wife says F is coming to live with us because her partner kicked her out and she has no way to go. I tell wife this isn't happening at all. At this point I'm very suspicious of wife and F. I tell my wife you and your girlfriend can finally do whatever the duck you want to do. I don't give a duck anymore. She responds with, well, I love you. I always will and I'll always care about you because you're the father of my child. And that'll never change. I'm just gonna put it out there. F partner thinks F and I have something going on. He's jealous and controlling and she needed out. Sometimes feelings develop and it isn't anything that I can change now. After you threatened to divorce me, it made me realize you don't care as much about our relationship as I thought you did. I call her and she finally lets me know that her and F have had a physical affair and my suspicions are confirmed. Long story short, she tells me that it's because F was emotionally there for her during our arguments and fights. She also keeps stating she's just been selfish about the entire situation. And that my wife was always curious about females. I've offered in the past to invite a female into our room to fulfill the wife's fantasy, but she refused, stating she did not want to share me. I do my best to work through this, against my better judgment, and we start to mend our relationship. I'm not the best person on the planet. I say things, mean hurtful things, that I later apologize for. I always just had a feeling that something didn't add up. The story didn't quite sit right. They said played and touched a few times. And only had S time once. Still it never added up. The messages F sent to my wife when they quit talking is nothing that a fling would send. Things talking about true love and her being the one. Messages that didn't make any sense in her phone and had no context. Leading me to believe most of them were deleted. Nice pictures in my wife's phone that I never received. Pictures where she has makeup on and all that. It comes to a here about a week ago. I reach out to F and her partner to offer an apology. I didn't feel they deserved one, but I felt I needed to do it as I said some pretty mean and hurtful things. I did it for myself more than anything. F and I start messaging and she actually fills me in on a lot of things that happened apparently. She then drops the bombshell and asks if her partner can call me. I accept the call and he tells me I cannot accept your apology because I also had S time with your wife. So basically my wife had S time with this couple. Multiple times because she wanted to try a woman. And her partner would not let F have S time with my wife unless he joined. I'm beyond destroyed. I feel like my wife sacrificed me, our son, and my daughter for something so selfish. And I offered to do it for her, but she refused because she did not want another person to touch me. I can't begin to process all this and have no idea where to go. Edit, I never thought so many of you would reach out to me as I'm suffering. And I thank you. But as this is getting attention, I feel I should edit this in. My wife has no contact with the F or F partner. Turns out F and her partner have reached out to me with their own marital issues. They all admitted to having the threesome twice. Wife and F have admitted to touching and kissing. F claims it was more S time with just them two. Wife claims that F partner is too jealous and freaks out when they were alone with each other. Edit 2, I thank you all again for your harsh truths and kind words. I don't have anyone to confide in, which is why I'm reaching out to the internet, I guess. Edit 3, time for another edit as many have asked. Wife has done everything I've asked of her for reconciliation. She's told family members, activated GPS tracking, posted on socials, and just recently agreed to a post-nuptial agreement.